So it is also a sport that a lot of people is actually grabbing onto, especially, like Bosnia and those Russian countries there. They're all coming into the World Cup. So you're flying against all those guys, and which every year I feel it gets more harder to make it. And then too, you got to also be so sensitive that you afterwards have to check the bolt of a pigeon. There's such a lot of things that goes with the bolt of a pigeon, and such a lot of scientific sides of why the pigeon is rolling. Now, science has not found out yet why the pigeon is stumbling. We used to say in the olden days the pigeon get a fit, but they found out now it is not a fit. So they're really bamboozled, actually, as I could say, why the pigeon would roll like that all the time. And but then you have to have the bolt of a pigeon, and from the head to the tail, the pigeon must be about 7 inches. If it's bigger, then your roll is more sloppier. And then the wishbone on the wings, your finger, your index finger must go in between there. If it's bigger, then it makes the roll bigger. But the closer to the body your wing is, the more compact the roll is. So that's got to be in. Then you have the keel bone of the pigeon, which is the main thing of a roller pigeon. It must be very sharp in front, because the pigeon must have an apple body. When you handle it, you can feel it. It's like an apple. And that makes the roundness of the roll even more faster. So the deeper the keel, the more faster the pigeon will roll. And a pigeon rolls, when you look at it, you don't see it. It claps its wings all the time while it's rolling or spinning. And it takes its tail and puts its tail up. It takes his head and it puts his head where the tail comes. And then the wings goes like this. And then she rolls. A big aspect of the roll is when that bird cuts off, it must face the kid. The kid flies this way and it rolls. And she stops rolling. They call it cut off. Stop rolling, then it faces the kid. But if it doesn't, then that pigeon has a fault. Another aspect of the pigeon is the tail shouldn't be too broad. Because of aerodynamics, it slows the roll. And then in the wings, the two main feathers of the wings, which is the primaries they call it, it comes very thin. And that's for air to go through why it does that. Because otherwise, with a roll, it will keep the air in there, and then the pigeon would not fold up the way it should because of the air in the pigeon. So fast the thing is rolling. So that must be right for the air to escape while it's spinning. So you have to check all those things to know that your pigeons is okay. I like to weigh my pigeons. And the pigeon has to weigh about 8 ounces. That's why you have to watch your feed. You can't feed them too much. A tablespoon of food per day is enough for a pigeon.